Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Jesus TV, my return subscribers. Thank you for always coming back to view and listen to my gist. My new subscribers, you're welcome. Please don't forget to make yourselves comfortable. Don't forget to like and share my videos, and don't forget to comment nicely. Okay, so I heard allegedly that some queens have been pushing forward for um the king to bring back Prince Tade back to the palace, to bring him back to the palace, since he is, Abi, they are claiming that that is the reason why he's always, because of Prince Tade, he's always seeing Queen Naomi. I mean, because from what we heard, that Queen Naomi and the king, the king still sees Queen Naomi because of the prince. No, he always goes to see his son. Of course, he will see the mother of his son. And because of the prince, they still have communication. So it's not going down well with some of the queens, as they believe that Queen Naomi left by herself and um, should not be allowed back to the palace, except if she denounces what she said about not wanting to associate herself with the palace and all that. Well, some people are saying that the king has finally granted Queen Naomi her freedom, since they waited for Queen Naomi to come back to the palace for the past 3 years plus, and she refused to go back to the palace. And of course, most times that they say that Queen Naomi should send the prince to the palace, she didn't. She doesn't send the prince to the palace, but finally she did, came with the prince to the Ooni of Ife opening of Thanksgiving of for the opening of the Ojaja estate. Okay, so they said the people that are pushing for this, pushing through for the king to bring back Prince Philip to the palace, Olori Ashley, Oloronke, and Olori Marian. They said that since the Queen Naomi doesn't want to come back to the palace, she can as well send the prince to come and learn the culture and be with the father, instead of the king always using that as an excuse to see her. So they said Queen Naomi went to travel to the UK, and as the king's former wife, ex-wife, I know a lot of people doesn't want to believe that this marriage is totally over because of the love they have for Queen Naomi. Even me too, I wished that they were still together, because of the love I have for Queen Naomi. And of course, I know that the king, will actually still take care of, can still take care of her and the prince. I mean, we all know, right, that the weakness of men is always women. And of course, because he is a king, he has the power to marry as many women as he actually wants, and which Queen Naomi should have understood before she said yes to him. So, but that is not it. They said Queen Naomi traveled to the UK recently, and she had to stay in the king's home in the UK, which Olori Ashley and Olori Marian didn't like, because they said Olori Ashley stays there sometimes in UK, and okay, now she came back to Nigeria because of her son, and because the prince, there are some things that the prince, they need to do for the prince as even as a baby. So that's why she's staying back in Nigeria, and her daughter is with her sister, because she's going to school. But once school vacates, she comes back to stay with her mom, and that's how they shuffle it for now, until the son, they are done with whatever they are doing for the prince, so she can go back. So they said because the place is actually empty, the king now says, because according to what they said allegedly, that the king foots, of course, he foots the bills of his child, the prince, and of course the mom. That is one good thing he did for Queen Naomi. Even though they are separated, he still takes care of her and his son. Like he didn't cut them off from the allowance that he used to give them and every other thing, even after these 3 years. So what they said is that, as she said she was going to the UK, the king now asked them to go and stay in that place so that the bills will reduce, you know, so that they can stay there. The bills will reduce. We know that, okay, what they are doing is to eat and of course go to the places they want to go to, but accommodation has been settled, and that is the main issue. So they said that according to what they are saying, that Olorumarian did not accept, Olorashili did not accept, like, why is the king still in contact with Queen Naomi, that they thought that she left, and he waited for her for like 3 years for her to use her legs and still come back to the palace, which she didn't, and now he's married to them. So why are they still in communication? That if the prince is the reason for the communication, they should bring back the prince to the palace and all that. I don't know if that is true, because that's what I heard allegedly from the gist, from the bloggers that are carrying it. But you all know that Olori, I mean, I don't think she has time for all those, and she cannot, and nobody tells the king what to do. The king is a man of himself, and whatever he wants to do, he does it. That is why before he even married his wives, they must have all sat down and deliberated, and of course he has told them his likes and his dislike and all that. So they don't even have any right to tell him what to do and what not to do, how to be in communication with the mother of his son or not. Of course, the king is going to carry everybody along, make sure everybody's mother is happy. That's how he's been doing it. You see the relationship he has with his first daughter, the relationship he has with Adewamiwa, the second daughter, and his other children. He celebrates them, and if their mothers are not happy, even if they are not married to him, they won't, he won't have relationship with these children, with his daughters, with his other children. And so that's the same relationship he has formed with Queen Naomi. Even if they are no longer married, she has a child for him, and of course he has to take care of his son. So that is what is going on. And they're saying that, they don't want Queen Naomi to come back. And the one that is even paining me is that some people are evil. That's why I even said that it's not right. Everybody should hold their fans, because they are causing this one tomorrow. This other party's fan are causing the other one tomorrow. And next tomorrow, they will tell you your old and new life. That was how one person wrote on one gist that I just glanced through the gist. And the person said, the person addressed Queen Naomi as an ex-convict, that she should go and drop, her son with the king, and stop seeking for attention and all that. Now they feel like Queen Naomi is the one seeking for attention, now that the king already has 2 sons plus Prince Star. They're making it 3 sons. They feel like she's the one seeking for attention, she's the one seeking for the king's attention and all that. Like, people can go extra miles to say whatever they like without thinking of if they are hurting the other person's feelings. So that's why I kept saying that as long as Queen Naomi is happy, as long as the other queens are happy, as long as the king is happy, he's taking care of his responsibilities, everybody's happy. So that is actually what is going on. But I don't even know if this Queen Naomi traveling to UK is true, because I didn't get the memo that she was traveling to the UK. But what I know is that Queen Naomi has, she went back to school, so she's taking her studies seriously. If not for the king inviting her to the Thanksgiving service of the opening of the Ojaja Mall, and of course her fun fair, which she uses to bless the less privileged and the widows, you won't have even seen her. She's scarce these days because she's concentrating on her studies. And of course, yeah, that reminds me, some people even advise her that she should make herself scarce like Olori Wura. that they like the fact that Olori Wura removed herself from the limelight, and of course, made herself scarce from everybody's eyes. You know, they were advising her to do the same as Oloriwura and make a comeback. But the fact still remains that everybody cannot be the same. Queen Naomi is still in this country. I mean, Oloriwura, when she left the king, she didn't stay in this country. She left for Kuwait, where she stayed and established her business, of course. She must have contacts there and all that. So you cannot be comparing Oloriwura and Queen Naomi. Queen Naomi has a ministry here. She has a family and family that loves her and all. It will be quite difficult for her to relocate abroad. But I actually heard that she's planning towards that. I've from what I heard, it is after her education that she's just waiting for the prince to grow small. She will now relocate abroad. I don't know how true that is, but I feel like the king wouldn't want Queen Naomi to, take the prince abroad now, for the prince to grow abroad, because the prince has a lot to learn from culture, from the ways of his father, till a lot, So I feel like it's not true. Thank you also very much for always coming around for viewing my channel. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and share my videos, and don't forget to comment nicely. Have a blessed day. Bye.